This week's US CQM forecast alert is the effect of January retail sales, CPI and PPI on the CQM and PCA forecast. January retail sales jumped 3%, much higher than the ARIMA forecast of minus 0.03%. CPI rose 0.5% against the ARIMA forecast of 0.06%, and PPI for final demand for goods increased 1.2%, well above the ARIMA forecast of minus 0.75%. This table shows through which knife items retail sales, CPI and PPI have affected the economic growth rate on the expenditure side and income side. In the case of PCA, the economic growth forecast is modified through changes in the principal component, since the deflated economic indicators such as real retail sales are used to construct the principal component. The US economy, the economic growth on the income side began to form an upward trend in early February, and according to this week's forecast, the economic growth rate on the income side has exceeded that on the expenditure side. The average growth rate on both the expenditure and the income side, which is close to the BEA's GDO concept, rose to 3.11%. Since real retail sales rose 2.43% in January, well above the ARIMA forecast of minus 0.09%, economic growth by PCA was revised upward by 1.42% from 1.75% to 3.17%. Both the GDP price deflator and headline inflation rate were revised upward by more than 1% due to the January CPI and PPI spikes. Core PCE price deflator growth has risen to around 3%. Conclusion from this week's US CQM forecast alert. First, the economic growth rate in 2023 Q1 is around 3%. Second, headline inflation is about 2.5%. Core PCE inflation is around 3%. Third, economic growth rate on both the income side of CQM and PCA was revised upward by about 1.5%. Fourth, the economic growth rate on the expenditure side has been revised upward by 0.0% or less. Fifth, both the GDP price deflator and headline inflation rose by more than 1%. This slide contains additional information about this week's detailed CQM forecast, the original developer of CQM, and CQM theory papers.